So, today I'm going to be talking about a CFK knife. This will be a full review and field test. Now, what's different about this knife is that it's made by kind of a custom maker, CFK Custom Forged Knives. So they are a full-on custom maker. I'm pretty sure you can order a custom knife from them, but I'm not sure. You have to check that on your own. Now, this knife was sent to me by Doug Wilson, owner of Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex. I'll get you the sheath real quick. He saw my channel and he liked it, so he sent me a Kydex sheath that he made for this knife, and then he sent me the knife too. Now this is called a Western Tanto style knife, I think. Now this is called a Western style Tanto knife, and I'm not kind of doing a review of this knife specifically because CFK probably has 60 different designs on eBay right now, and eBay is a good place to order from them, or you can find their website. I'll put both of those down in the description. Now, you can go to eBay and there's probably a knife for everybody on there. I mean, all the different designs they have, it's crazy. Now, the three things that CFK likes quite a bit is 90-degree spines on their knives for scraping down fat wood and striking a ferro rod, things like that. Or just other wood, and it's another tool. It's another use for your knife, having a 90-degree spine on there. It adds more uses to it. And they also like D2 steel, so they have a lot of D2 knives. I've seen some machetes. I've seen some axes that they do. Now, along with that, they do all sorts of different types of designs. But most of what I've seen are D2. Now, they do other steels like 1095 and others, but mostly D2. So, this review is kind of going to be my opinion on this knife, which is made out of D2 by CFK, so that you guys can kind of get a reference for their heat treat and what they're doing with their D2. Now, this knife is kind of special because it has a very high Rockwell hardness. It is 60 to 63 Rockwell hardness, which is very, very hard. I didn't know that when I first got it, but then I looked it up on eBay, and they have several different knives almost identical to this, and they all have the same Rockwell hardness. Now, what that means is that this is going to be a great combat knife or tactical knife, whatever that may mean for you. Because I've done everything to this knife, and I haven't chipped it, I haven't rolled the edge, I haven't done anything like chipping, breaking, nothing. I've beat this knife and nothing's happened. And that also means that the edge is very, very sharp, and it stays sharp for a very long time. The edge retention is very, very good. Now, most of their knives will have a different type of heat treat, so you'll have to check down on the Rockwell hardness, and they'll put that in the description of all their knives so you can check. It might be D2, but it might not be this hard. Now, that also means that it's very difficult to field sharpen. Is that such a big deal? No, it's not such a big deal. But field sharpening is going to be more difficult than something like 1095 with the lower Rockwell hardness. I usually aim for around 58 is what I usually aim for. 59 and 60 are okay, but 58 is about good. When I test a knife, when I'm about to review it, what I do is I use that knife and only that knife to do all my tasks. Now, I carry other knives with me that I can trust, because I don't trust a knife until I use it, and I know I can trust it. But I use this knife, just this knife, to do most tasks. Now, you can see with this design knife, it's kind of designed like a combat knife, because you have a Tanto point, which a lot of people don't think so, but it can easily be used for bushcraft. I don't have any problem with having a Tanto point on a bushcraft or woodcraft knife. And you also have these deep finger grooves, which honestly I was kind of worried about when Doug Wilson sent me the pictures before he sent me the knife. Was, I don't know if that's going to feel good in my hand or not. But personally, it fits perfect in my hand. Those finger grooves are they just feel amazing. Just amazing. It's great in the hand, and I have about a large size hand in glove size. And so that feels really good. I have about half an inch, maybe an inch left on the handle with large size gloves. So it's not a huge handle, but it's not that small either. And then you have somewhere right here where you can choke up a little bit as long as you're careful. But I've done that a couple times, and I'm pretty safe right there. That's not a big deal. But then you also have this where it curves down to a V, kind of, and that's, I assume, for smashing things. That's going to be really good for any type of blunt force penetration, whatever that might be. Cracking open nuts, cracking pieces of wood, I guess. I don't know. I mean, whatever you can use a sharp point on the back of your knife for. And if it's a combat knife, you're going to use that for many other things. Now, after my dad sharpened this, he was like, wow, that is a hard steel to sharpen. I don't know if a D2 is a great steel. But after that, I realized the Rockwell hardness was very high, and so he's like, oh, that makes sense. So this knife is completely razor sharp, and throughout all my testing, it's stayed razor sharp. So the Rockwell hardness and the D2 steel make it a good knife for edge retention and tough durability. Now, D2 steel is a semi-stainless steel. It's a half stainless and half carbon, I guess. So I don't know if you can get sparks off the spine with the rock. I'm not going to try it because it's a very pretty knife, so I don't really want to damage it like that. I have other knives that I can do that with. But, you have to look that up by yourself, do something like that. Now, the Kydex sheath I got for it is very, very nice. He put Atwood 5-strand paracord on here, a very good fire steel. And like I said, CFK loves 90-degree spines. So getting sparks off this is not a problem. And the fire steels that Doug Wilson includes are very, very good fire steels. I was surprised. They're better than anything I've seen from custom makers. That's probably the best fire steel I've gotten from a custom maker. And I love how he includes actual mil-spec sock cord, and then this little, I don't know what you'd call that, just a little plastic piece to help get that off. And then he adds an actual handle on there so you can actually get a good grip. Now, what I do with all my fire steels, no matter what they are, is I rip out the fire steel if I can, and then re-glue it with a glue of my choice, because I don't really trust the epoxy that fire steel makers put on their stuff. But so far this has worked well. Now, so again, this is Kydex sheath. You can watch the full review of it if you want more information. This is made by Doug Wilson, Yellow Hawk Customs. And back to the knife. Now, you've seen testing of this knife, and honestly, with me just beating on it, it has been nothing but great. It has worked so well. And this Tanto point is so good for penetration if you're stabbing into wood for any reason, or stabbing into other things. You're trying to bust through a door in a tactical scenario or something like that. This Tanto point is going to work very well for you. It is very, very strong. And I really look forward to getting more things from CFK. Hopefully I can get enough money to buy some more of their products, because the designs they come up with are absolutely amazing. And my dad got another one of the knives that I don't own, but my dad does, and the fit and finish on it is just as good as this one. And they usually put them out in leather sheaths. Sometimes you can pay more and get a Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex sheath for it, or you can just custom order it from Doug Wilson or something like that. But the leather sheath that my dad got with his CFK knife that he bought was very high quality from what I saw. Now, I've been learning from Doug Wilson that, it has to depend on the tanning process, so you never really know about it until you get to use the product or you know how they tanned it. But from what I saw, it was all double stitched. It was all had big, thick welts in it for durability, and so you're not going to cut through the sheath. It all seemed great. So that was just my first impressions on the leather sheath, and I don't know, about it more than that, because I haven't been using it all that often. So I might get another leather sheath from them or another knife from them, and then I can do that. I hope to get a 1095 knife from them so I can test out for you guys the 1095 work that you do. But from what I've seen with this knife, I would highly recommend a D2 blade from them. Their heat treat is just spot on. Now, another thing with their website, or with their company, which is great, is that they have a fantastic warranty. I guess we'd call it a warranty. So if you break one of their knives, if you break it for any reason, they will replace it. Do not quote me on this. Do not quote me on this. Look it up on their website and on their eBay listings yourself. But from what I've heard, they will replace it with a brand new knife. And that's it. That's the end of it. And so it's really cool that, this company is out of Oregon, which is where I'm at, and it's kind of cool that, they're around here. I just look so forward to getting more of their knives. So you can find them, I'm sure, on Facebook. You can find them on eBay, and you can find them on their website, CFK, something like that. all that will be in the description. You know, thanks to Doug Wilson for sending this knife to me. Thanks for the sheath too. Now, his information, him on eBay, Doug Wilson, Yellow Hawk Custom Kydex, will be in the description. eBay, Facebook, and he doesn't have a website, but he has a YouTube, so I'll put that in there too. And I'll also put CFK's YouTube channel in the description too, so you guys can go out and check all of that, spend some time, and just check, if you're looking for a CFK knife, just check every day on eBay, just see what they have, because they're always constantly changing and always coming out with new designs. I see new things on there every single day. You guys can just check them out, and thank you all for watching.